Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Red Zone Recap Sports Podcast. Today, we're talking about the NFL Wildcard Weekend and what are our predictions for those games. And also, there were some coaches firings, so we're excited to talk about that today. Head coach news. So, starting right off, NFL Patriots team did fire Bill Belichick and replaced him with Jared Mayo, the linebackers coach. What are your thoughts on this, Sam?
Bill Belichick was an amazing coach for 23 years for the Patriots. He and Tom Brady definitely won a lot of Super Bowls together, and I'm actually excited to see how Jared Mayo just leads the Patriots offense and defense, and excited to see if they can actually play better.
I don't know if you can get a team to play much better than Bill Belichick did. 6 Super Bowls from 2001 to 2023, but that is the end of a very long career for the coach on the Patriots. Next up, Pete Carroll was actually let go on the Seahawks. It's very sad. Sam, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, he was another good coach, led the Seahawks to a lot of winning seasons and even a Super Bowl appearance or two. Even though he did make that bad call in that one Super Bowl, he was still nevertheless a great coach.
He for sure was, and it's definitely not going to be the good old Seahawks without him. It'll be a long time before the Seahawks are probably able to get into the playoffs again without one of the best head coaches of the century. Wildcard Weekend matchups. Now, let's discuss the NFL Wildcard Super Wildcard Weekend matchups. So, starting it right off, we got the Bills versus Steelers. Sam, what are your predictions for this?
I think this could be a amazing game. I can't wait to see how Mason Rudolph performs against the Buffalo defense, and I think Josh Allen is going to have a pretty good game, and it's going to be a great game and very high scoring.
It'll for sure be a very interesting matchup between two quite good elite QBs and then some really solid defenses on both teams. And then we've got the Dolphins at Chiefs. What are your predictions for this, Sam?
Another great game. I'm excited to see how the Chiefs defense covers Tyreek Hill and just how they perform against the strong Dolphins offense and how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense play.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs have not been playing too well this season, so I am excited to see how they're able to face off against a very high octane Miami Dolphins offense. And then there's actually the Browns versus Texans game on Sunday night, I believe. What are your predictions for this, Sam?
This is a battle between a rookie versus a veteran. I honestly think that the veteran, Joe Flacco, is going to lead the Browns to a victory, but CJ Stroud is going to have a good game, and it's going to be a close battle between these two teams.
For sure, yeah, they've both been pretty similarly playing throughout this whole season. A lot of ups and downs for both teams, but I think that in the end, the Browns could end up winning this one and advance to the divisional round and play against the Ravens. And then on the NFC side, we have starting it right off is Green Bay versus Cowboys. What are your predictions for this, Sam?
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers just managed to slim their way into the playoffs. The Cowboys have been a pretty strong team the whole season, so I think that the Cowboys are going to win. But excited to see how Jordan Love plays and if he can maybe lead the Green Bay Packers offense to a win versus the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Well said, yeah. And then we've got the Rams at Lions, first Lions home game in like 50 years. So I think this will be a very interesting playoff matchup in the wild card round. Sam, what are your predictions for this?
Yeah, the Rams and the Lions are both pretty good teams, so I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. And then we've got at the Eagles at Buccaneers on Monday night. Sam, what are your predictions for this?
Yeah, the Buccaneers just managed to get their way into the playoffs, but the Eagles haven't been playing too well either, so I really don't know who's going to win this game.
Yeah, both teams have a chance to make it onto the divisional round and play against the San Francisco 49ers. Breakout players! And now we're going to discuss some players that could end up having some really great performances in the Wild Card Weekend, starting right off with the Eagles versus Buccaneers game. Sam, what do you think are going to be some of the outstanding players in this game?
I think both Jalen Hurts for the Eagles and Mike Evans for the Bucks are both going to have an amazing game. I think they're both going to have a lot of yards and at least score one touchdown.
Yeah, I agree. I think both of those are really high octane players on some really good teams, and they could end up having some spectacular performances. And then at the Dolphins versus Chiefs game, Sam, what are your predictions for this?
Yeah, I would want to say Tyreek Hill, but he is going into a very cold game, and he is playing in Miami now, so he's probably used to the warm weather. So I wonder if that's gonna affect his playing.
It very well could, along with it could also affect the rest of the Dolphins' offense and defense, as it's going to be -5 degrees in that very, very chilly Arrowhead Stadium. And also, next up, let's discuss the Bills versus Steelers game. Sam, what do you think are going to be some really good players then?
George Pickens didn't have a single receiving target last week, but hopefully he'll have a breakout game this week, and I think Stephon Diggs might have a great game, so to look out for this week.
Yeah, well said, Sam. And I also do think that I think Stephon Diggs could end up having a very good game, especially as he gets some revenge on the Steelers. Next up, we're going to talk about the Rams versus Lions game. Sam, what do you think are going to be some breakout performances then?
I think that Puka Nakua is going to have an amazing game. I think he's going to have a lot of yards and really just break up this line's defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think both players can end up doing very well. Indeed, both teams are going to have, it's going to be a very high scoring game, and it'll end up probably one of the more high scoring games of the season.
That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We do make weekly sports podcasts, so if that's something you would be interested in, please consider subscribing. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.